screen together for several months now.
Wild.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Been a
And
minute.
yeah, as the kids say,
been a minute.
it's been a minute.
You know,
So
I think the kids used to say that when we were a lot younger and they were kids, and they're no longer kids.
no, they're like they're starting to have kids of their own, and they're handing them iPads so they don't have to actually talk to them or anything like that. So I am Joe. This is clean off to your screen, off to your screen's right, and Amanda down below,
Hello.
being very studious in the Hogwarts library or something like that.
Look, I'm an English teacher, so it tracks, you know?
Yeah.
You're
I'm the only one that chose to be in my own home today. My kitty might make an appearance. I don't know if you can see, she's back there.
I see in the couch. Yeah, I'm on a fake, green screen. I'm branded though. Look, I'm branded.
Yes, it looks
Sons
good.
of bitches. So it's been an interesting summer movie season so far.
It has.
Things have the paradigm seems to be shifting, and the big budget blockbuster from the Mac Daddy himself, Steven Spielberg, tanked. Supergirl.
How big of a tank was that? I know, Joe, you're better than we are about box office numbers.
I don't have the latest numbers, but
Do you have like a ballpark in your head? Like, do you know how, like, are they underwater on the movie, or is it just not very profitable?
I think it's just not very profitable. Last I looked, but it could be worse than that. If I had my druthers, it would just be tanking like you can't even believe. Because I didn't love it at all.
Yeah, I liked it more than you did, but I didn't love it. It wasn't great. By no means my favorite Spielberg movie. By no means my top 4 Spielberg movies. By no means my top 4 alien-centric movies.
No.
But I had some fun with it. Even though I can complain about a lot of stuff with it,
So, well, for those who are not familiar with us, which on this channel will be pretty much goddamn everybody, but Clean and I have followed the UAP phenomenon for a while. Amanda thinks we are two lunatics that,
No, it's
and
interesting to me. I'm not as into it, but by the way, I just looked it up and it said that Disclosure Day is estimated to have missed its theatrical break-even target by roughly $61 to $66 million.
oof, that's not good.
Yeah.
For a Steven Spielberg movie where he went back to his wheelhouse,
Yeah, and it's crazy because when we think about the big Spielberg movies and the movies of our, in our case, like our youth, our childhood, early teens, right? When it was cool to go to the movies with your friends on a weekend and everything, which I think that's been lost a little bit in today's culture. But back then that was like the thing. There was like everyone would talk about it. It's funny because not too long ago the anniversary came up of Batman, the 1989 Batman. My family and I saw that in the theater 3 times, which was unheard of because it was just that great. So it's like I think we've lost a lot of that blockbuster that's worth seeing, and now it's just like, do you think it's because, I'll ask you guys, is it because they're just throwing money at things and hoping that it works out, or the names are big enough and they're not really like paying attention to detail, or what is it, do you think?
I'll let Clean go first.
Boy, I don't. It's a lot of things. It's to the point where I don't think we can blame it on any one thing, because we're going to talk about other movies. We're not stuck back a couple months ago on Disclosure Day here, but using Disclosure Day as an example, theoretically, there's no reason that movie should not have done exceptionally well in its opening weekend, because it's Spielberg, because it's aliens and UAPs, because people who are into that even like have been waiting, because we all think Spielberg has secret information that nobody else knows, and he's going to put it out there in that movie. And it's like it's part of the zeitgeist in the last few years. And like, for all intent and purposes for everything that we would expect, this movie should have been gangbusters in its first weekend, if not first couple weekends. Um, I'm I can understand why it dropped in the
Second week.
oncoming
Yeah.
weekends. But I don't know why the first weekend wasn't bigger, because everything led to that movie being one of the top three powerhouses of the year. Like, like
That I agree with, and especially, you know, from 2017, where all the UAP stuff and the congressional hearings and all of that, the online chatter is what you were mentioning,
yeah,
and people were saying, did Spielberg know something all along? And he was doing those interviews where he said, now people will realize it's all been true, and that fueled that fire. But in the face of all of that, what he delivered in that movie, I was yelling at the screen in my head, like the Roswell footage, right? In the end, they didn't even bother to put like an old filter on it. It just, there was so much sloppiness that was making me crazy in that movie.
I it's weird because that movie somehow disappointed Spielberg fans, and it disappointed UAP heads.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, it disappointed two completely different camps.
Yeah. And so I think, back to her original question, Amanda's original question, I feel like you can no longer depend on wowing the audience with visual effects, right? You have to have meat under everything. There's got to be something there. And, I think back to, I remember going to see Jurassic Park. And
I
which
was gonna say Jurassic Park. That's so funny. I was thinking the same thing.
well, it was strangely the same day. It was, I forget how many, like 35 years before or 30 some years. I can't remember now. But Disclosure Day opened on the exact same day that Jurassic Park opened all those years ago. And I remember being in the theater at Painter's Crossing. And when that first brachiosaur, when Sam Neill takes his glasses off, you could hear the theater gasp,
Yeah.
right? Because we had never seen, I mean, before that, there was The Last Starfighter that utilized CGI, and it was very primitive now, right? But that, you just went, oh my God.
Yeah.
And when's the last time you had an oh my God moment?
Right.
Yeah.
Going back to Jurassic Park for a second, for me, the moment that I was just like gasping in my chair watching that originally is it a Triceratops, the one that was down
Yeah.
on laying injured or sick?
Yeah.
Was
I think it was dying, definitely.
and they're touching it and you see it breathing and they're right there on top of it on the ground. I'm like, that's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so real.
Yeah. And that was when you walked out of that movie, you knew, okay, everything just changed right now. Everything's different now, As silly as it would probably look now, Forrest Gump. That was the first time we saw characters put into archival
Yeah.
footage. And because we were never able to do that before.
That wasn't we didn't know deep fakes and all that.
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. And now, I mean, you'll see videos, as you say, deep fakes, AI, you go through your Insta feed or whatever, your Facebook reels, you see videos now that are convincingly real.
Oh, they look very real.
Yeah. And so Hollywood can no longer rely on, this is a CGI festival, you're going to be blown away. Nobody's going to be blown away now. You need substance.
Yeah. So I just again, not to overkill on Disclosure Day, but I'm, the part of me that's thinking people are going to go just because of Spielberg, and people are going to go because UAP is part of the zeitgeist for the last few years, and we're all like excited for this. But you know what? maybe only for this very small portion of us, like you and me, Joe, that are really into the UAP stuff. Most of the people maybe aren't, even though it's in the zeitgeist. Maybe they're actually bored with it because every other week now there's a new release that doesn't really show any.
Yeah.
Like it just kind of is always there now, and it's no longer exciting. Nobody really feels like we're learning anything new and interesting. At this point, they could put out something that is completely like uh, unreal that actually happened, and nobody would probably fucking care anymore.
No.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what happened to this movie. Maybe people were just kind of bored with the topic, except
I
for the few niche people like us.
Yeah.
so
And you're right. Like back when like Independence Day came out and things like there wasn't nearly as much content out there about all of that. So I remember it being very novel.
yeah.
Whereas I think Clean, you're right. There is so much out there that they're not bringing anything new to the table. So you would have to default to just really good storytelling, really good characterization. Now, I didn't see. So here's the thing with these, some of these movies you're talking about. I was going to go see them. And then these two jumped ahead of me and saw them. And once they were like, I'm like, it costs so much. Here's the other thing,
Yeah.
if it wasn't so expensive to go to the movies, I might say, what the hell, I'll just go on a free, back when even it wasn't even that long ago, they would do like the $5 Tuesdays or whatever, but that's very rare. If you're going to the movies, you're dropping at least like 20 bucks. And then if you're taking I go with my family, whatever, you're talking like $100 to go see a movie together, and it
Yeah.
better be okay. And so when you find out something is, and I trust your opinion, if you say something's lackluster, I'm gonna believe you. um so I think so I didn't see it, but I don't know about the storytelling elements. But again, I am a film teacher, so I do teach this sort of thing.
Yeah.
She's trying to big time us right now.
Especially
Right.
well,
So, like, I'm a guy that likes ratings. As long as we're talking about this show, like, how much did you like or not like that movie on a 1 to 10 scale? Where do you put Disclosure Day?
Um 6.
Yeah, which I think is totally fair. Because if I'm being really nitpicky, I'd probably give it a 6. But if I'm just being more casual and like, I had fun with parts of it, and I'm giving it a 7. So
Okay.
it's still like a 6 to 7, which, you know, like, do you tell people, oh, you got to see this movie? It's a 6 to 7. No, but we often see 6 to 7 type movies and be like, yeah, it was good. Like,
yeah,
if you
you
want
can
to,
watch them. Look,
if
I'm
you
gonna
want to
watch
be
them when they stream.
entertained in a half-ass way and not feel like you totally wasted your time, a 6 to 7 movie fits that, right?
Yeah, like, but I'll watch it in the comfort of my home when it's free, right? But
Yeah.
and that's the other thing. People are relying. I think that's the other thing. People aren't going to the movies because I think what COVID did is made people very used to just, I'll just watch it streaming at
Hmm.
home. I'm comfortable. I got my own popcorn. I'm saving a lot of money. And I think with these sort of meh, as soon as those sort of like meh reviews come out, that's what is going through people's minds. They're like, I'll just wait till it's streamed. Look how fast things are streaming. So another colossal failure, Supergirl is already going to be
Yes.
streaming.
Yeah. So Supergirl opens on streaming next weekend, I think, right?
The 28th, is that next weekend? Yeah, I think
Yep.
it is, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And they should have just released that to streaming, in my estimation, or never made it. I I was not a fan. You
So
were a
this
little
is
more
another
of a
movie
fan.
Joe and I saw. Amanda has not seen it yet.
And you know what? I'm so disappointed because I'm a superhero type of person. I had high hopes for it. And
Clean's dogs agree with me.
Yeah. Okay.
They
You hear?
agree.
I wasn't sure if you could hear them on this mic.
I speak
Probably agree.
dog, and they were like, "Fuck that piece of shit movie." Like that's what they were saying.
So
Yeah,
I,
and
I don't think that, just so everybody knows, I don't think it was the greatest by any means. I did like it a little more than Joe did. Like, I don't think it's a great movie by any means.
see, I loved Superman, and I think what people were expecting is the same caliber that Superman
Yeah.
was. Now the other thing with that, some of the things I saw about it though is I saw a really good analysis saying like, what is the objective here when they're making these female led, and they were saying, this particular person was saying, okay, I think in the, filmmakers' minds, they're thinking like, we want everyone to be included, so we're making more girl. But their point was no one who doesn't like superheroes is going to want to go see a superhero movie just because it's a woman.
True.
You know what I mean? Like,
That yes. That said, though, Amanda, Supergirl is old IP. Supergirl as a character has been around for a long time,
yeah.
and anybody who's into comic books would know that.
Yeah, so they're gonna see it, but this person that was doing a video was saying, if the objective of the making movies is, and I think sometimes that's what goes on, is they're thinking like, oh, let's bring something for the broads, right? As Joe would say, and we're gonna have some female. It doesn't always mean that girls are gonna want to see it, and also girls such as myself who are into superhero movies, I'm going to see the superhero movies no matter what, whether it's men or women or whatever. So it was just an interesting conversation about like, what's the goal here? Is it just like, oh, we want to say that we equally represent men and women in our superhero movies, because that's not good enough, to compel
Yeah.
people to go see something,
Mhm.
Excluding how, depending on one's point of view, bad or not so good Supergirl turned out to be. I don't think it was a mistake to want to do a Supergirl movie. So
No.
like it's there. Like Supergirl, like and the story that this told. Now, I didn't read the original comics, but the primary comic that this was based on, because I've watched a lot of stuff about this. A lot of the big comic nerds are like, that's a great story. It's a great story to make a movie of. It's very cinematic, and in the way it's told, it's perfect for a movie. It just didn't turn out to be a good movie. So
yeah, and the other thing is like the marketing too was definitely geared toward girls, because they came out with like Supergirl makeup collection. That's my point, is like, okay, you're coming out with Supergirl makeup and Supergirl clothes and stuff, and it's like, if you're not already into Supergirl, I don't think that's going to make you become a Supergirl fan, because there's a collaboration with a makeup company. You know what I mean? So like,
and honestly, like, are you going to take like, do you want your, I don't know, 8 or 9-year-old girls to get excited about this Supergirl hero who spends the first, I don't know what, 45 minutes of the movie
Drunk
and hungover and like hating her life? And is that a girl you're going to put on your lunchbox and put on her Supergirl makeup for?
No, and that was, when you're talking about all these marketing deals with makeup and everything, I think they thought they had Barbie on their hands with Supergirl.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this is not Barbie in any way. And what was the most interesting part of Supergirl to me, I do not like Zack Snyder, right? So any Snyder bros who may eventually see this, before you even start, go fuck yourself. But the thing is, I don't like his films. I think he's a one-trick pony. But what was amazing is that all the Snyder bros were already predisposed to hate this film before it even came out. It's woke, bro, all this shit, right? It felt to me like a Zack Snyder movie. It was dark. It was shot in dark scenarios. Everybody was depressed. Everybody had emotional trauma, right?
Yeah.
And then the slow-mo, the gratuitous slow-mo is a hallmark of Zack Snyder. So that needle drop moment that everybody talks about now with Jimmy Eats World's The Middle with a girl singing it acoustically did not work, because it just didn't work visually and with what was happening. But everything about it felt hack. Craig Gillespie was the director. He clearly didn't know what he was doing. Jason Momoa was thrown into this movie because everybody wants to see Lobo,
The
and no,
character was great, loved Momoa, but it
it
was a
didn't work.
waste. It
It
was so out of place.
it didn't work. And so they thought they were going to have this girl power thing, and that's the other thing. We do live in a moment where people are tired of being messaged to, right? And the
Yes.
mythical modern audience that we always hear about, that they're, oh, the new modern audience wants to see these things, except they never show up to the theater ever.
Hmm.
I remember that movie Bros. It was a Universal picked it up. It
Yes.
was distributed through them. It was a gay rom com, and no one went to see this fucking movie.
Yeah, that
I
was like
tried to watch it because I'm an open minded chap. You know what I mean? It was so aggressively offensive towards heterosexuals. And but the point is, when it bombed, I can't remember, his name's escaping me right now. The comedian that wrote it and directed it and everything. He blamed straight white males for its failure. And it's like, well, where was the LGBTQ community? Like, they didn't come out either. The mythical modern audience is a fable, it's not real. And so they keep making these things. And that's what was also interesting about Supergirl. You girl powered, boss bitched the shit out of this movie,
hmm.
but nobody cares. Like, we
Yeah.
just want a good story. We want a good
Yeah.
movie. And you
And I
didn't
think like
deliver it.
again, like going back to like the storytelling element, I'm guessing that with both Disclosure Day and Supergirl, there was a storytelling element that was off, that was missing. But what I was
Yeah.
saying about like teaching this, so in my I do a whole Hitchcock unit, and one of the basic things, is keep the story simple. Keep it to things that resonate with people in their own lives, right? That's why, look, Psycho, everyone has a shower. But that became a whole thing, right? Everyone, has like maybe someone creepy that they run into, right? And you're not quite sure what's going on with them. Being followed, Hitchcock did a lot with just being followed and creating suspense with that. And if you don't have a good story where you actually care about the characters, what happens to them, there's a good conflict, it's no one's going to want to pay attention to it. The crazy thing is, we had these other movies that I think we'll talk about at some point, right? These smaller movies that were surprise hits because, so for example, Backrooms and Obsession, which I just saw, I saw both of them this week.
Did you relate to the character, the broad who friend zones people or anything like that?
It's funny because I watched it with my boyfriend and I was like, "See, honey, I'm only half as crazy as you." No. No,
Well,
no, because
this is interesting. Yeah, it's just, so there's a couple things going on here because if you guys don't know, anybody who's watching us who doesn't know us, based on what Joe was last saying, you might think, "Oh, what is this like an anti-woke broad?"
Oh no, we're about to rip them the fuck apart.
Right, because what Joe was saying, like we this modern audience and like the Bros movie and like and the girl power and how it doesn't work. That if you're only half paying attention and if you don't stay with us, you might think, oh, this is just another like anti-woke movie talk.
yeah, not at
No,
all.
we're anti-woke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anti
Yeah.
woke is the new woke.
Yeah. But
And
my point is like
We're realistic is what we are.
yeah,
yes.
you have to have though. But what those two movies had that maybe the blockbusters didn't have is they had compelling storylines that were easy to follow, that
Hmm.
held your attention in today's world where you want to be on your phone all the time. I have to say, didn't want to look at my phone one time when I was watching those movies, right? Because they held my attention, but they're basic things, right? Somebody being overbearing and being obsessed with you is a basic fear, right? I would
Yeah.
hope you don't want anybody to be that obsessed with you. Being stuck in this nightmare situation in back rooms, and the mental aspects and questioning your own sanity, that resonates with people, right?
So this is interesting. Let's eventually let's get to talking about some of these indies,
Yeah.
but first let's. What are the other big what should have been blockbuster movies that maybe didn't turn out to be such blockbusters? Now, wait, which ones did turn out to be blockbusters? Hail Mary, right?
Yeah, but that was, what was that? May? Was that May
That
or
was a while
April?
Maybe
ago.
even earlier, like
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it was
April.
earlier. The
So
surprise
yeah,
one that was
I'm saying like this year, we're halfway through the year, um, and we have had some outstanding movies, but we've also had some outstanding duds, and we've had some outstanding
well, I know
Yeah.
you guys
right?
you weren't as into Michael as I was, but that
Oh,
movie is
fuck Michael.
crushing it.
It
I
did.
loved that movie. I loved Michael, and it is surpassing over and over again, surpassing what it was projected to do. And
Okay, but
again, what do audiences want? They're feeling nostalgic. All the fans came out. When I went to see it, people were dressed up in Michael Jackson outfits. They had their sequins. They had, and it like it's you. Even if you hated the movie, you got to be impressed by the fact that it surpassed so much, like of what was expected of it. So
yes, only because I was shocked. I watched Michael, and so I think the last time we were on screen together, Michael had just came out, and Amanda was the only one who saw it.
yes,
So we were relying on you.
I rushed to see it.
I know
I
you
loved
did.
it.
You had your one glove
And
on.
did
And
you
you
see
were,
it a second time too?
did what?
Oh, we bought it as the day it came out for streaming. We bought it and we've
This is
watched.
why you've missed all the other movies that we've seen. It's because you
Yeah,
spent all
you're
your
busy
movie
watching
time on
Michael.
How many times have you seen Michael?
Well, I also, Joe, I know this is a favorite franchise of yours, but I also saw Devil Wears Prada 2 in the theater and also bought it. I liked it.
I tried to watch Devil Wears Prada too. I attempted.
I haven't gone there, but Anne Hathaway is in like four, actors here. I know that this is a little segue here. All the actors who are in like four movies this year: Anne Hathaway,
Zendaya,
Zendaya,
Rob Pattinson,
Robert Pattinson. I think there's another
Tom
one.
Holland. I feel
Tom
like
Tom
he's in
Holland is
everything.
in two back to back. Is he in
He's going to be in Spider-Man coming up.
Spider-Man?
I
He was
can't
just
wait for
in Odyssey,
Spider-Man.
and they open like a week apart or
Yeah.
something. But and awesome for Tom Holland that he gets to be in two
Yeah.
movies back to back with his girl.
Yeah.
Should we get into his girl and how unimpressed I actually am?
Look, she was good in the drama. We didn't really talk about
She
that.
was
But that's
great
a
in the
standout.
drama.
Small.
There's a smaller indie film. That's an indie,
Again.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, great,
A24. Mhm.
great film.
One of my favorite movies of the year. Like, let me just say right now, but everybody, like Amanda, you've seen less than us, but Joe, you've seen pretty much everything. Favorite movies of the year, just so everybody has context for when we're giving shit to a movie, you'll actually understand what we've liked this year. For me, best movies of the year so far: Project Hail Mary, the drama, The Invite,
Still
Awesome.
have to see it.
Obsession, and Backrooms. And I'm going to put in like top, just a notch below the A level, not even a full B, like A minus level. I'm going with Send Help.
Awesome.
Oh, that was great. Yeah.
Great,
That was
great fun. And don't worry, don't what's it called? Don't panic, don't die, don't what?
Oh, good luck.
Good luck,
Have fun. Don't die or
good
whatever.
luck, have fun, don't die.
Yeah.
Like to me, that's up there too. Like even like the lesser movies this year were at a certain level were really good. Like so these are the movies I've really enjoyed that are at the top of my list for the year.
Yeah.
Joe, what have your favorites?
I think we're right in the same pocket, man. Like where I walked out, because I always judge things. So Allison's always with me, obviously. When we get in the car, the conversation on the way home. That is to me like when I walk out and I'm like, wow, man, and this part, and we're going back and forth and shit. The drama that led to so much conversation
Yeah. Yeah.
because, I think everybody on the screen agrees the most twisted one was the friend that was in the
Yeah.
wedding
Oh
party.
man, I
She
hated
thought,
her so much.
yeah,
Kudos to that actress
She's the
because you're
musician.
supposed
What's
to
her
hate
name?
it.
She's her and her sisters. The
they're
band.
musicians.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
she's. Oh, you would know the name. What the fuck are they called? Like we have Googles and stuff.
Yeah, if only there was a device that we could type things in.
I just
And
hated that broad. I
oh
hated
my
that broad.
god, dude, I
Oh
was
my god, I wanted to punch her. Like she is
And she
terrible.
was the one in that Paul Thomas Anderson movie too. The one I didn't see. What's it called? Cigarettes and
what
Oh, I
no,
don't know, but she's
apples
really
and
annoying.
like it's got a what the
apples
fuck
and
is it called?
oranges.
Ice cream and peaches. I don't know what
But
it's.
look,
We're
kudos to
killing
her
it for a
for
movie.
acting.
Huh?
Kudos to her for acting because I think you're supposed to hate her and she did a good job making me. She's probably a perfectly nice person in real life, but she made me just hate that character. Like
Yeah,
really.
well, and that's the job, Like, I remember Ray Fiennes after Schindler's List. He talked about people came up to him on the street and spat at him, and I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
great, you did an awesome job. Everybody hates you. Now they hate him because he's on the Epstein list or whatever. But that's a whole
Oh.
different conversation
Yeah,
altogether.
that's a different thing.
But yeah, what is it?
Haim.
She's
She's
in that
in
thing?
Haim?
No, I
That's
didn't know
her. She's Alana Haim from the Haim Girls.
that. I had no
What?
idea.
I love Haim. What?
Yeah, that's her. And she was in Licorice Pizza. That's the one I'm like.
Oh,
ice
I
cream.
love Licorice Pizza.
Licorice Pizza. She's the same girl. in it.
Gosh. Well, in this, it's not it's not her as a person. It's that character.
Yeah,
Is so great.
she played that character really well.
Oh.
She was an effing see you next Tuesday.
Well,
Yes,
you
she
guys can
was.
take
I
you
was
can
like,
take the high road if you want. I hate her on a personal level, so that's a whole different. 'Cause Haim doesn't have a sick metal riff at all.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I loved the drama though, so that's definitely way up there for me. And of course, like,
And here's
Backrooms obsession for sure.
something I enjoyed thinking about briefly is the drama and the invite. Did you see the invite yet?
No, hopefully this week.
Okay. No spoilers. You need to see that. Like
Yeah.
ASAP. The drama and the invite are bookends of a marriage.
Yes.
So, and both fucked up. It's the fucked up beginning of a marriage and it's the fucked up end of a marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like, for me, the invite, I love when you just have a handful of characters and they're in one space
Yeah.
because everything is dependent upon the story and the acting, right? And god damn, that was
It's an incredible cast.
just amazing. And it was funny, I have to tell you a quick personal story. I don't know if I leave a lot of voice notes,
Are you
I enjoy them, I think.
Are you going to talk about how you and your girl were like the Ed Norton and Penelope
No,
Cruz character
I've been
with your sex parties?
That's your sex party. I've been accused of things like that, but I don't do that.
That's more me.
I mean, we could probably get away with that, except none of the women would want to be with me.
No, actually, then you'd probably be more like the other two. You'd probably be more like the Rogan.
Yeah, I'd be like Seth Rogen,
Wait, me? She wants to fuck me?
You really want to? You sure? Is this a prank? No. So, in my with my ex-wife, there was a friend of hers, and she was the type of person that if you went out in public and she thought something was funny, even if it wasn't funny, the whole room needed to know that.
Oh yes, yeah, I do recall the story. It's a good one.
Yeah. And Allison went to go grab a beer when the movie started. She's like, all right, I think I can run, because the line was, long, and we were late as it was.
Oh, you're at a movie theater where you have to get up to get your beer, not one where they come and deliver them to you?
Oh, Mr. Fancy Alamo Draft House in Austin,
Yes.
Well, we have those too. We have
We
those too.
do, but I wasn't. My Regal Unlimited pass doesn't afford
Okay.
me
Yeah.
that kind. I'm not a man of a certain station down there. I would love to have an
It's just
outlet.
how we do it in Austin. It's like,
I know how it works.
Yeah.
They bring you smoked meats and alcoholic beverages and all that kind of stuff. But so she goes and nothing like the very beginning. There's stuff that's mildly funny where you might go, oh yeah, that's kind of cool. I'm just hearing this, bah, like I mean, like fucking insane. So I literally text Allison and I was like, hey, I think just a heads up, I think there's like a special needs person in here, right? And I maybe didn't use that word because I'm a disgraziad. And so, I'm just giving her a heads up. She comes back, she sits down. And as this was happening, it was like Mystery Science Theater
Yeah.
3000. You're only seeing the silhouettes of the people in
Yeah.
front of you.
Yeah.
And every time this outburst would occur, I'd see people's heads and I'd see them pointing to each other. And so she comes back and she's hearing this, right? She's hearing all of this. And she's like,
this
what the
is like an over the top, not within the context.
dude? No, like literally beyond every metric of normalcy that you would
Like,
imagine.
we're chuckling in our seat. We're like, huh.
Yeah, yeah. You're like, hey, that's funny.
But she's
like
echoing throughout the theater.
bah, ha, ha, like literally that. So the movie ends. Allison says, I need to hit the bathroom. I'm sitting there looking at my phone. I might even been leaving you guys a message or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I look up and there she is. And it was my ex-strife's friend who used to, and I was like, oh, this all makes sense now. I was like, of course, that's who that was. So yeah, that's my personal story. But the goddamn invite, fantastic.
Gotta see it.
Yeah.
I will see it this week.
Yeah, and Amanda, perfect. You would love it for many reasons, but it is an intimate movie that, like Joe said, takes place in one spot with just the same four characters. I mean, it's basically a play. It's
I
basically
love
theater.
stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it
Like-
was like a play.
If I have a theater background, if I was still doing theater and in some
Wow.
small like indie theater, I'd be like, let's do a version of this. Let's put
Yeah.
this on stage.
Cool. I'm excited to see it. Now, to segue into I think what we're supposed to talk about, one of the speculated reasons why maybe a certain segment of people didn't go see these movies is because they're listening to reviews that are saying these films are woke and the casting is woke and the storylines are woke and everything. And it's become a whole thing. And there are people out there who are like, I'm refusing to see this movie before they know anything about it. So, would you like to speak to that aspect?
That happened. It certainly happened to Supergirl, regardless of the movie itself. Like, go and then determine. But what you're saying happened. But it happened the most to the movie I just saw yesterday, The Odyssey,
Yes, it did.
which is probably the biggest blockbuster of the season at this point. I mean,
Doing well, right? Like, I don't think it kept enough people away.
as far as
No.
right, like I think it will do well. I think it'll probably do almost as well as Oppenheimer, probably, as the year goes.
I would think. I did look those numbers up before we started recording. It didn't, Box Office Mojo didn't include the Thursday numbers, which I thought was kind of odd.
Yeah, that is odd.
But because from what I saw, it equated to Toy Story 5, another apparently woke film, which how the fuck that works, I don't know.
Right.
But they apparently matched their record-breaking opening night or whatever the hell that was, right? So that wasn't included, but it made $129 million over the weekend and $247 million globally. So the 129 was domestic. So all of the whining from the everything's woke bro crowd apparently did not do any damage to this film, and it shouldn't have done any damage to this film.
You know what I've seen that hasn't happened with the other movies, because they actually ended up, it sounds like, being not great movies. I've actually seen like pop up some videos and stuff or posts from conservative type of, outlets actually saying, this shocked me. We're like, don't listen to that stuff about the wokeness. This is a must see movie. Forget what people are, and this is like conservative people saying, don't listen to that woke stuff. This is too good to miss.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that says something, and all the reviews have been stellar. I haven't heard one person um I mean, I know there's people out there I haven't. I've only come across in my real life, not content creators who have a spin on everything, real people. I'm an English teacher, so this is an English teachery thing. And one of my fellow English teachers texted in our group chat the other day, you all need to see this movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Look,
as
yeah,
English teachers, you need to see it.
Amanda, as an educator, as an English teacher, as somebody who also teaches film, like it all
Yeah.
comes together for you. The Odyssey is the movie for someone like
And
you,
I love Christopher
right?
Nolan, so it's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, um, Again, as we talk about this, just so you all know where I come from, I'm a Nolan fan. I give Nolan movies usually somewhere between an 8 and a 9.5 in general for most of his movies. Tenet is the movie that most people are going to have trouble with, that I actually love. I
What?
I've seen Tenet 4 or 5 times, and the soundtrack, the score for that is amazing. I downloaded the score right after I saw it, and then but I was so intrigued with the concept, and without understanding everything, I had to see it again and then see it again. And the more I see it, the more interesting it becomes. And I know not everybody wants to do that. I understand why not everybody's going to like that movie. But I'm one of the rare people that actually like Tenet.
Have you seen Tenet when you're not high on psilocybin?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I just
So,
wanted to check.
but what I'm saying is that for me, a Nolan movie is typically between an 8 and a 9.5. And the Odyssey for me, like it has all the machinations, has everything that you would expect of a masterpiece that should be rated a 9.5 to a 10. Like there are moments, I can pick out 10 moments that I can call, here's a 10 spot in the movie and stuff like that. But overall, just the feeling it gives me when I leave a movie, like, am I excited to watch it again right away? With the Odyssey, I'm not. It's a great movie. I would say for me, I'm giving that movie, I'm going to say it's a solid 9, but I'm going to go on the low end of the 9 in that it's not the kind of 9 I need to keep rewatching.
I agree.
It's very similar to Oppenheimer. Loved Oppenheimer, but I have no desire to watch Oppenheimer again.
I've never watched it twice. I will never watch the Odyssey twice. Somebody actually just asked me that, a friend of mine, and he said, "Are you going to see it again?" I said, "If I can get IMAX tickets, because they were sold out all around here."
Mhm.
And I was like, I would probably go watch it in IMAX just to experience it correctly, right? But not be that would be the only reason. And if I don't see it in IMAX again, I will probably never watch it again. Only because I agree with you. I didn't walk out of there blown away. Like, and so that was what was weird about everything that was happening in the orbit of the Odyssey. You had people that were like, "Oh my God, this is why cinema was made," right? And then you had "It's woke, bro," right? And so they were calling it pretentious, boring. I didn't find it any of those things. It was
No.
exactly what it needed to be.
Yeah. Let me just say, even though I would never, I probably won't watch it again. I would say, Amanda, like if I were teaching film and I was an English teacher, I would make my kids watch it every year because it's a really well done illustration of this very important story.
Yeah.
So I would say it's a movie that is worth everyone seeing. But after you see it the one time, I don't think you need to see it again.
No, you don't. And it's 3 hours of your life each time,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So
I find like Oh Brother Where Art Thou much more palatable. I show that every year in my film class,
So,
and
yeah,
I've watched it probably 100 times.
I
yeah,
haven't seen it since it came out, and I just said the other day, I was like, oh, now that I saw the Odyssey and like
Brilliant.
the story is fresh in my head, I want to see Oh Brother again.
Oh, watch
And
it. And the movie, the soundtrack was I think the
yeah,
best selling soundtrack of all time at the point, it came out. So, no, I'm excited to see the Odyssey, and I trust the people who have given it, accolades. I think it's probably going to be up my alley. It sounds like
yeah,
it's just,
I
yeah.
but
like.
here's the thing, it's like,
There's nothing in the movie not to like. Just put it
yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
No.
The time commitment though, because here's the thing, 3 hours just to watch it. That's not including the 20 to 30 minutes of previews that they always
Yeah.
do.
So you're
20
three and
to
a half
30
hours.
minutes now.
You're
And
3.5
then
hours.
driving to the theater. So you're talking probably like a 5 hour endeavor.
Yeah,
It's a half your workday.
it is.
Exactly. And that's kind of what, because my boyfriend wants to see it. My son wants to see it. We all want to see it, but it's like, when do we
Well,
have
it's a
five
good thing
hours?
you're on summer vacation.
That's true. Lazy teachers and all.
Believe it or not, I've been very busy, but see, I could go by myself and be a jerk and say, you guys see it when you want to
No,
see
you
it.
got to get them all together. Make a thing of it, and then go out to dinner afterwards. If you're taking the kid, just talk about the movie. Um,
Yeah.
if you know the story well, like I would recommend, and I can send you guys the link. But and Joe, if you want to do anything in post with this, New Rockstars. Do you watch the New Rockstars
No, but hold on a
YouTube?
second. Speaking of post, I have to pee so bad I'm gonna die. So before I left, you said new rock stars.
New Rockstars. So I
All right.
just
Yeah.
looked it up to be sure. It's it's called New Rockstars. If you don't look at this, look at it. I like them for certain things, and I loved their summation of the Odyssey.
Okay.
So what? Look at that now that you've seen the movie, and anybody else who's listening to this who has seen the movie, if you haven't seen the New Rockstars thing, if you want to learn, so what they're really good at is, I mean, they do all these like nerdy things, like finding what do we call it? I'm losing the word. What's it called when you find little nuggets of something in a movie
Nuance?
that only the people who read the thing would know, or stuff like that.
Easter eggs.
Easter eggs, yes, Easter
Yeah.
eggs. So they do a lot of Easter egg stuff. This isn't heavy on Easter eggs, but it tackles. He does like 40 things from the beginning to the end in the Odyssey, and some of them include like how it was shot on the new IMAX thing they built special, but other things are like how they changed the story. So like if you watch the Odyssey and you're like, man, it's been like 20 years or 30 years since I read it, and like I don't remember this, or like I don't remember that, like why did that happen? It's not what I thought happened. Well, they explain that in there, like the certain things that Christopher Nolan changed just to kind of make it a movie, like the Cyclops in the book, in the story. I don't think I'm giving any spoilers here, Amanda,
I would.
but
Well,
I
we
would
know
hope
there's a
not.
yeah.
Cyclops.
Yeah, we all know there's Cyclops. But in the story, like the Cyclops and Odysseus talk, and Odysseus says, "My name is nobody," and convinces the Cyclops his name is nobody. And then when he hurts and maims the Cyclops, he's like, "Nobody did it." And the other Cyclopses on the island are like, "Well, nobody did, and then nothing happened."
Yeah, who cares?
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So Nolan talks about like, yeah, it's a pun. It works in the story. That pun's not going to work in the movie. So
I think that would have worked in the movie. I
so
would have.
we didn't do the whole nobody thing. So, but anyway, I'm just using that as an example. He goes through step by step all these things that, that are different from the book to the movie, or things how he shot it, just things that are worth knowing as the movie goes. And it's really interesting. I learned a lot from watching that. I highly recommend it. I love watching new rock stars during Severance. Like, there's certain TV series that they nerd out on. And like, I'll watch the episode and then I go watch them talk about the episode. And it's always fascinating. So
Check it
big,
out.
big ups for the new rock stars.
I saw somebody was sharing some kind of meme, and who knows if it's true, but if it really could be in the society we know that we live in. It was a screen grab of somebody saying, "Don't anybody spoil the Odyssey." And somebody responded and said, "Bro, you only had 3,000 years to read the book."
Yeah, right.
And, so
Yeah.
it is
Oh,
true.
one thing, let me say this about it. This is a tangent. So I watch a lot of history stuff that will verge onto like that fake bullshit ancient history,
Yeah.
where I watch a lot of people who love to debunk those fake ancient history people. But I've watched a lot of stuff in the last couple of years about the Sea Peoples. And like, I only just in the last year or two learned about the Sea Peoples, and I've watched a number of things on YouTube about the Sea Peoples. And then here we are in the Odyssey, and they're talking about the
That's
Sea
the
Peoples.
big issue. Yeah.
And that's not in the Odyssey. So if you've read the book or the poems, whatever, that's not part of it. But he makes it part of the movie. He brings in an actual historical fact into it that's really interesting. The Sea Peoples apparently caused a major collapse of the early Bronze Age. Like, society would have been built up bigger and faster if it wasn't for the Sea Peoples.
So we hate them then, is what we're getting at.
Yeah. Like, they
right.
kind of fucked things up. We might be more advanced without the Sea Peoples, but the Odyssey kind of, by the end of the movie, you're like, oh,
Yeah, because
now I know who the Sea Peoples are.
and he says our Bronze Age is over.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Well, I'm
I
looking
think
forward to seeing it.
all right. I like this new format where Amanda steers the ship. So where are we going next?
Well,
I was gonna say we've had an hour-long conversation, but we can, I'm sure.
Well,
I mean, initially we were talking about how a lot of the blockbusters did not perform as well as you would think they would, whereas a lot of the indies performed better and blew them out. So we haven't really gotten to the basics of that. We haven't spent time with the indies. We talked about what we liked.
Right,
And a lot of those
right.
were indies.
Okay,
So,
yeah, we can do that.
what's up with that? What's up with Obsession, like breaking box office records 3 weeks in a row?
Yeah, and it's funny because
Wow.
my boyfriend's older son was so excited. Or no, it was Backrooms that got, was that, or did that happen with Obsession too? Because they were supposed to stream way sooner
Mhm.
than they did, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
like extended the run because they were like, yeah. Well, I think, as I said, sort of mentioned earlier, I think with Obsession, again, it is a topic that people can relate to a little bit more, even though it's a bizarre movie. Without any spoilers, there's definitely a bizarre situation, but I think there's human elements to it that are like just realistic enough that you could relate to parts of it. And I think, like Joe was saying before, those movies that make you have good conversations afterward, right? That you're still thinking about afterward. I think that's the secret of what happened with these smaller movies
I'm
is,
going to tell you the real secret of Obsession.
oh, okay.
You want to know the real secret of Obsession?
Because we've all been friend zoned and we hate these broads who zone us and we want to stalk them and have restraining orders.
It's the actress Indy Neverett. That movie, if it were done with a different actress in the role, I think it would have still been successful. I don't think it would have become the blockbuster it would have been. I think it would have been a solid hit in the horror genre. I think it would have done really well. Probably still gone over expectations because it was well done. But the thing that blew it out of the atmosphere was Indy Neverett.
Man, hold on, clean earmuffs right now. Clean wants to bone Indy. I just
No, no, no. Look,
Like
no, that's
Clean.
irrelevant. Even if I did, that would
Like
be irrelevant
Clean.
because, she brought that in. Like,
oh, she did.
there are actors and actresses. I'm just going to call them all actors because I think that's really fair. There are actors who are lucky enough, many actors who are not this lucky, who actually do well, but not lucky enough, who ever get that defining role. This is a defining role for Indy. It is. She was masterful in
Yeah.
this movie.
Yeah, and
agree.
what like so Clean like you, I have a theater background, and what was amazing to me is the first part of the movie, her physicality is so incredible because she goes from being very attractive to being able to contort her face and make these expressions where you are just the same beautiful girl can make you repulsed, terrified, and you saw that main character responding to that and completely back away from her and be utterly disgusted and repulsed to the same girl that he was like,
Yeah.
simping on for.
Her choices as an actor
Yeah.
were just, she was so natural. Like I said, if they had cast anyone else in that role,
Yeah.
it'd still be a good movie, but I don't think we'd talk about it as much. It's Indy Navarrete that just blew it out of the water, man. Like, she made that movie more, even a movie that was probably better than it should have been, considering all circumstances. She made it even better than that.
Yeah, I agree. And what I thought was interesting about that movie, the main character, what was his name? Bear. I haven't seen. Yeah, he's the villain of the whole movie, and you're somehow supposed to sympathize with what he's going through, but he's a shitbird of a human being, right? And that to me is what made that movie so compelling because I kept turning to Allison. I was like, this guy's such a douchebag, like the
And you
whole.
know what? And his friend is also a douchebag. And unfortunately, I don't want to give any spoilers, but there's one person who I think is a morally upstanding person in the movie, and it doesn't end well for that person.
No, it does. It really
It
doesn't end well
really,
for that.
that was the one. If
Yeah.
that
Well,
moment,
yeah.
I,
I,
I was
just to
like,
be fair at this point, I think spoilers on Obsession are probably okay.
Well, no, it just hit Peacock Friday, so but no, you know what? Maybe you're right because
yeah, by the
dude,
time this comes out,
everybody's
Yeah.
seen it by now.
Yeah, I mean,
Dude,
it pretty much is the biggest movie.
Hey,
of
will
the
you
year.
look at a steering wheel
Like,
the same way ever again?
if
Will you look at a steering
if,
wheel?
no.
if you haven't seen Obsession at this point in July? What is today's date? July 19th.
Yeah.
When we're filming this portion, if you haven't seen Obsession on July 19th, as we have this conversation,
Yeah, you probably
chances
didn't
are
care
you're just
to
not
see
going to
it.
see it.
Yeah.
Like, right? Like, everybody has seen it.
Dude, it grew in its box office percentages
Yeah.
in
Word
the
of mouth.
next couple weeks after its opening. So yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen that movie, you clearly don't care. So yeah, we can spoil the fuck out of it.
Okay.
Dude, that steering wheel scene, not only was it insane, but it came out of nowhere. Like you did not,
Yeah,
they set that up masterfully.
I knew something was going to happen. Like I knew she was going to be there. I knew she was going to do something. But when that happened, I feel like it just changed the entire atmosphere. Like there was a
100%.
shift from this is just a kind of disturbing and yeah, she's being obsessive to oh, you are feeling the anxiety. The same shift happens in I don't think it's bad to spoil Rear Window, right? But when I show
Mhm.
Rear Window in my film class, the kids are pretty bored with it to be honest. It's a very slow until the dog dies. After
Right.
the dog gets killed, they're like it's the same kind of and the rest of the movie has a different tone. And
Yeah.
I feel like that happened where I actually felt like I had a pit in my stomach after that. And it's funny, my son just watched it, and then we were getting ready to have dinner. I'm like, "What do you want for dinner?" He's like, "I'm not really that hungry because he's like, "I just watched Obsession," and then he's like, "That last part," he's like, I don't think I can eat anything." And this is my, like, strapping
Awesome.
17-year-old son who's like, "I don't feel like eating, like, I'm
So
too upset."
that scene at the steering wheel, I believe, was supposed to be 17 seconds longer, 17 seconds
Oh my gosh.
more.
I
I
mean, it
need
happened
that cut.
fast.
And they were told, no, no,
I need
you
It
that
gotta
was
cut.
cut, you gotta cut that.
and then the aftermath and see I mean, I was
So,
just not mentally prepared, but and I'm a horror like, it takes a lot, and if you're a horror person, I think that's one of the big things that made that successful as well. People who are into the horror genre, it takes a lot to rattle us. It takes a lot to be like, "Oh, wow, that creeped me out." That as a horror person, that creeped me the F out. Like, I was, like, disturbed the rest of the
this is an interesting concept. When you say, if you're a horror person, if you're in horror, you know what? Um, yes, there's like, I'm into horror. I've always liked the horror genre. But you know what? I think over time, over the last several years, I think horror has infiltrated mainstream
Oh yeah.
film. I think
yeah, it
I
has.
think I love it. I think it's great for that.
Too.
Like last year we had Weapons, which it was zeitgeist. It was,
Mhm.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? And like there was a time where you couldn't really be respected so much for horror. Now people are respected crazy for
And I
horror,
love it because
which is why I think we're going to, God, I hope it happens in this Oscars coming. I hope we start seeing our first Oscar nominations
because that's
for
always
horror
pissed my
films and
entire
horror
life,
actors.
that always pissed me off that
Because
horror movies like
at
that.
this
Yeah.
point, the actress who has been ignored, who should probably have won some awards for her roles in horror, is Mia Goth.
Oh, yeah.
Like Mia Goth is.
That what do they call that trilogy?
Um,
It's like the
X
X,
and
Pearl and yeah,
what
Pearl,
was
like in
what?
Pearl, like she's.
Yeah, but there was a name for that and it's escaping me.
Yeah, there's
We're
a name.
doing a hell of a movie podcast where we don't
Yeah.
remember anything.
Speaking of which, well, it's going to happen. We're a bunch of old folks. We're not going to remember everything. Sometimes we have to open up the Googles, and sometimes we won't. But
dude, that was great. All of it.
here's a jump. Speaking of Mia Goth, let's go back to the Odyssey for a minute.
Oh, she's in that, right?
Mia
Yep.
Goth is in the Odyssey, and you don't see her. Like she's not one of the actors that you keep seeing credited that you talked about, but she's totally in the Odyssey. But there's a couple actors who are in the Odyssey that I'm like, why did you cast them? Because you're not using them to the best of their abilities.
I heard
Like,
my man Ryan Hurst is in it, and I did not know that he is in the Odyssey.
I
Right.
don't know who he is.
I know who he is.
He is
And Ryan,
Opie from Sons of Anarchy, who
Is he the one with the beard? Is he
Yeah.
Joe?
His
Is he the one with
mentor
the
or
squared beard?
yes.
Yeah, he's great. He's great.
Yeah,
Love my man.
Ryan Hurst was cast very well, I thought.
I can't wait
unlike
to see
you,
him.
But Ryan, he's good. He's got a good role. This is what I'm saying. There are a couple greats in it that Nolan took away work from new up and coming actors who should have had the role because the role wasn't that demanding.
No.
Mia Goth's role was not demanding. She didn't have to act. She didn't have to do what she's really good at. And the other one is Benny Safdie. What the fuck? Benny Safdie as Agamemnon.
yeah.
What?
Yeah,
They
that
never
made-
even show his fucking face.
No, like you see a corner
Why
of
did
an
you
eye.
cast Benny Safdie, cast an up and comer, and give him his credits in a major movie?
Yeah, that made no sense. I too am a big Ryan Hurst fan. Probably not for the same reasons you are, Amanda. We'll put that on Front Street, so Ryan Hurst, they were making a God of War, Amazon. I think it was Amazon series, and from what I read, I don't know if this is you see things come through,
Right.
but apparently he has left. He was he was going to be the main character in the God of War series,
Oh.
and apparently he left the series. There was a great series that I really enjoyed. It was called was it called Outsiders? It's been a while. They were hillbillies in the
Yeah, I
Appalachian
know
Trail.
which. Yeah, I know what you're
Is
talking
that it? Was it called Outsiders? Do I
about.
have that right?
I forget, but I never got around to watching it, and I meant to because I love Reinhardt, but I just love Opie so much. I don't know.
And, well, that he was great in that where they were hillbillies and shit. And yeah, and you know what I learned recently for people of Gen X, Ryan Hurst's dad was Cletus on the Dukes of Hazzard,
Yes.
right? And
Yeah.
he died recently.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I just learned another famous Nepo kid who is really good. You watched Maximum Pleasure Guaranteed.
yeah,
Joe and I watched that. Amanda hasn't seen that.
No.
By the way, my opinion, great series, half-ass finale.
agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Like the finale just feels like there's an episode next week. It doesn't feel like a finale.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, tune in next week, but there's no next week. Like, oh, really? That's how we're ending it? But good, fun series. Tatiana Maslany is awesome.
Yeah, she's always good.
And so glad to see her in a great role again after Orphan Black, which she was brilliant in, after like in the middle having done She-Hulk, which nobody liked, right?
No, I don't think anybody enjoyed it.
I love She-Hulk, the series.
So,
I have the figure of her.
All right.
So-
What,
so,
the hot
well,
toy? You don't have the hot
Madison alone was worth
Okay, all right. I'll give you that.
watching. Oh
That
my gosh.
well-
Madison made the whole series.
that was
Well,
the only good
so-
thing.
Tatiana Maslany, brilliant in a lot of things she does. Like she's a great series actor. Like, have we seen her do a great movie? No, but you know what? I think we can expect Tatiana Maslany to be this great like series actress. She has a great ability to play intense drama and comedy. She can be light and dark. She can go back and forth really easy, which is perfect for series like Orphan Black and now Maximum Pleasure Guaranteed. Again, if you haven't watched it, I'd recommend it. It's a good series. But the guy in it, the youngish, goofy guy, the guy and the young woman that are like
her office workers.
yeah, her office mates, and then they help her on the caper, basically, and no spoilers here. But that guy, do you know who his mother is?
No.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Real? Oh shit!
He's Julia Louis-Dreyfus's kid.
What a charmed life. She's the heiress to the Dreyfus Fund, and then now he's the heiress to the Dreyfus Fund. Well, he's not an heiress, but the heir to the Dreyfus Fund and Seinfeld money.
Yeah.
Some people live a charmed life.
He's good. Like, you talk about, it's interesting. There's a number of acting dynasties out there where it's like, how are they all so good at what they do? Like it makes sense that the son or the daughter continued in, the mother or father's footsteps because they're great. And there's others, it's like, well, you're just hanging out. You're just but like this guy's the real deal. Like he's fun and interesting to watch.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah.
Going back to the success, I just want to make sure we complete the circle of talk about.
By the way,
Backrooms.
this is your new job. I've decided now.
Well, I hosted
This is
radio
where she
show
gets to be
Pat.
teacher.
Well, you're
For
doing
years-
it from now on because I realize I'm not a first mic guy. I like to be like, you're going to be the first mic. You're going to
I like
steer
to
the
keep
ship.
things moving because I did it for many years. I had a talk show called
All
Speaking
right.
Now.
Well, you're doing it here from now on. So get ready.
I'm
If
happy.
this were a horror film, Amanda would be the final girl.
I'm happy to do it, but I wanted to close out the Backrooms discussion because that, again, they pushed back the release to streaming and said, F it, we're going to keep it in the theater one more week or whatever. What made that so successful? I think there's different elements, but what's your theory? That's one that we all saw. So what was it with Backrooms, you think?
Well, I think, you know, we're seeing a shift now. Like, so Gen Z is coming into play, right?
Yeah.
And these things like Kane Parsons with Obsession, and then Backrooms. No, I'm sorry, I had that backwards. It was Kane Parsons that did Backrooms, and what was the
Curry
Curry? Yeah, did
Parker.
Obsession. Curry
And
Parker. Yeah,
Backrooms is based on some sort of web series, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It
He
was
I
a
like the
started,
really
creepy
young
pasta.
well,
guy.
others, like various people were starting to do it, but he started his version when he was like 15 years old
Based off a
Super young.
photograph on 4chan of that room.
and using this program called Blender to
Yes.
create these spaces.
Yeah.
I've watched, I went back last week and I watched, if you go to his YouTube page, because I had never seen his stuff before, the movie. So I was like, oh, let's go watch what got him this movie. And I found his YouTube page and he's got a list. What's it called? You know,
Your playlist.
a
Yeah.
playlist where you can watch from 1 to, I don't know what it is, 26, whatever it is. I think I got through like 17, 18, 19. So I haven't finished it yet. But I sat there for like an hour and a half, probably an hour, because most of them are like 5 minutes long. There's some that are like 15 or 20 minutes, but most of them are pretty short. And I just started going through them from beginning to end. So I still have several to finish up, but it's amazing
Yeah, he
how
did a lot
much
of
the
great.
movie looks exactly like the shit he was making when he was 15.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I'll
I've
have
watched a bunch of tutorials from people taking Blender, and like you can make your own backrooms. Here's how to do it and everything. But that's what I think. I think that like the younger generation, they want that kind of stuff. Like we were talking about, the CGI over the top doesn't resonate anymore. It doesn't mean anything anymore. But these stories that they came up with, especially, you know, so Backrooms had a life on the internet, right? But Obsession speaks to almost the red pill
yeah.
manosphere, and the idea of being friend zoned or an incel or whatever, however you want to call it. And what would happen if everything went the way you thought you want it to go, you know?
Mhm.
And the interesting thing about both of those movies, they are so, they can be franchises now. You know, the One Wish Willow can apply to anything, like anything. And then you can make a horror story based on
Yeah,
what
it
is
could
coming
be
true.
like a Black Mirror
Yeah, 100%.
where, you know,
Or like
And
Beef, that's another favorite series of mine. Beef, to whole
yeah,
different actors, different storyline, but same premise behind it of just getting revenge on people.
yeah.
And yeah.
As long as you come up with a good, you know, One Wish Willow story, which we are replete with avenues you could go down, right? And backrooms, the backrooms never end. They go on forever.
exactly.
And what are
You
they?
know, there
Why
were
are they
things I
back?
wished had happened in the back rooms that I didn't get to see. Like by the time, like how are we? I think we can semi spoil back rooms. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah,
again,
Backrooms is available to stream
it's
now.
spoilable. So like if you absolutely don't want any spoils, like,
Mhm.
but whatever I'm going to say, I don't think it's going to ruin the movie for anybody. Um, you see in the trailer, the woman, the psychiatrist, goes in
mhm.
at the end. So, first, my one complaint about Backrooms. I love Backrooms, but I have a complaint, and it was the main character,
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Chiwetel before. Yeah, I never know how to. I'm supposed to say his name. Um,
You're supposed to
so
yell, you got to be like, you need American name.
yeah,
You know, do something like that.
um, so he, I got him. I got what was going on with him and his issues until he fucking goes off the rocker like fucking uh loses his shit, and the cycle part that where we lose him, and I'm like, that was a little much. I mean, weren't we supposed to like him and follow him?
Yeah.
And now we have to follow the psychiatrist,
Yeah.
which I was fine with the psychiatrist or whatever being there, and having her being part of the story. But why is the last third or whatever now her story, and why did we lose him in that way? I didn't. I didn't like it. I didn't agree with that.
No, I
aspect.
can. I think I agree with that. Like because you're invested in him,
Yeah, and
and
up
then now
until
you're
that
not.
point,
You know.
we can see he's got angst. We can see he's got some issues, but we understand those issues, and we understand he's trying to work through it, and we understand. But then suddenly it just goes off the edge.
Yeah. Now, see, I was not to toot my own horn, but I was an award-winning
Uh-oh. Here it comes.
psychology student in high school. I got an award on stage. I got a plaque. No,
It
I was
sounds.
I
It
was
sounds
a
like
like
horn tooting. I gotta be honest. It sounds
no,
like it.
no, no. In all seriousness, I was always a psychology geek. I mean, I would like get the psychology and encyclopedias out from the Sellers Library. Remember Sellers Library, the old
Hmm.
time library here, and just read all of them cover to cover. And I was going to be a psychologist until I transition. I took a lot of
Did you
psychology. And
transition?
I
Uh-oh.
transitioned to
Well, you're not allowed in the Odyssey because people will be upset.
that was good. That was good.
All right.
No, I when I got into theater and radio, I switched my major to English communications, right? But I still have like 2.5 years of intensive psychology. Maybe I was overthinking it, but I thought it was cool because I was breaking down everything of like the ego, super ego, and the id, right? And to me, it was almost like your psyche, your brain, your everything, and they represented those things, right? So like the pirate is like the id that's like the out of control, and sometimes like the rational ego has
I
to
liked seeing that pirate. The pirate was the cool
7'7".
monster.
That dude was 7'7". By the way, speaking of like, I guess this would be sort of, I don't know what if you'd consider this a woke criticism or not, but I heard that apparently there are a lot of people who are angry that the guy who played him is a 7'7" white man, and because they thought he should have been played by. I'm like, are people just
I
gonna
haven't heard anything
continue?
about that. He was
Yeah,
cast because of his
apparently.
size, though,
Yeah.
right?
Apparently, they were like, oh, because there's like they were naming like basketball players, but the thing is like this guy I think quit basketball to be an actor. Like that's his thing, is he wants to be an actor. And I don't know, I think people just are finding things to get upset about.
And
I
Well,
it's
thought
a
he was
role that,
sick.
no matter who the actor was going to be in a big mask
yeah, you
anyway.
weren't going to see the guy
It made
anyway, so it
it
didn't
was
Right.
matter.
made to look puppet like anyway.
Yeah.
Right. I don't see it. I don't see an issue with that, but it was brought to my attention that there are people who had an issue with that for some reason. I don't know. If anybody know, you put in the
Like,
comments if you heard it.
you know,
Um,
the
but I
pirate monster in Backrooms should have been black actor, and Helen in the Odyssey should have been a white actor.
I believe
these
it's pronounced
anti,
white.
these anti woke activists. But anyway, I think that's just, here's the thing is like, again, from an acting standpoint, I always think it's like who's going to best do the role. I'm not really concerned about who they are as a person. Like, can they play the role to the best? Like, that's the best person who auditioned for you, right?
Yeah.
Maybe this 7'7" guy was the best 7'7" guy to play the role.
Yeah.
But I thought that was unbelievably done. Like, I thought that
Yeah.
was great.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll give this away. Do you know who played the Cyclops in the Odyssey?
No, I
no.
just assumed.
Famous clown actor Bill Irwin.
Don't know who that is.
Oh, Bill Irwin's done a lot. He was old Cirque du Soleil.
Okay.
He's a movement clown guy.
I had
So-
problems with the Cyclops.
But The Cyclops, when the Cyclops was laying down, is a puppet. So was built. So
Oh,
he's
shit.
an actor when he's walking in and walking out and up and moving. That's the actor. That's Bill Irwin. But when he's laying down, it's built.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I didn't watch any. I tried to stay away from everything. I saw there was a bunch of making of specials, like one of the channels I have. I have problems with the Cyclops. I think I talked about it already with the two of you. I don't like when giant things move in slow motion. Like, just have them move.
Okay. I
We're
get
giant
that.
to
But
an
actually, it does change your the what gravity does and the hinge and like you don't look at the way ants move. Ants think we move in slow motion.
It doesn't seem like we can run.
Ants are like
I know, but
their
like
little legs are moving so fast you can hardly see them. People, we cannot move like ants move.
no, but I don't think we look like we're lumbering like that kind of shit. Like I feel like if we start running, an ant knows we're running. I can beat an ant in a
Look, if
race.
any ants are watching this, could you please drop a
Yeah,
comment?
drop a
You
comment,
can,
like and subscribe.
you can beat an ant in a race. However, if you film the ant and if you film yourself from the ant's perspective, you're going to look slow motion, but just beating them because your gait is longer.
I need the science on this.
There is science on it, which
Don't
I
be coming
can't.
around here with all your book learning.
Like, so also like a lot of smaller things like the metabolisms move faster. Look at a hummingbird. Look how a hummingbird moves, right?
Well, they're on meth.
They're an extreme example, but use them as an example. So we are like the hummingbird to the cyclops. The usually bigger, the more mass you have, the slower your metabolism runs, and the slower your metabolism runs, like you're strong, but it just takes.
I would like see my thing that the Cyclops would have been way more terrifying if he could like move, like if he would just like he's pissed now, I'm gonna tune you up, and then he just comes running at you. Instead of like you see him in the distance and his head's bobbing around in the tree line. Like
So a couple of years ago, like I knew about this concept scientifically, loosely, as much as I'm not an expert, just as a guy who watches bullshit stuff like this on YouTube, right? But then I watched a thing about kaiju, Godzilla, and
the giant monsters.
and they were breaking down the science of it, and it's like at a certain level of mass it becomes too much, and within this gravity on this planet and this atmosphere, like it becomes non-functional at a certain point. So there's a certain point of like suspending disbelief, but the part where they try to make it scientifically right, because if you look at most of the Godzilla stuff and kaiju stuff, they have that slow movement too, and that's part of that giant mass. Like it's the metabolism. It's like they're moving it fast, but their body, their mass, and the gravity and the atmosphere just makes it. And then our metabolisms run faster, so it makes it seem slower than what they're doing, and like a lot. So there is actually science behind it. I don't know how to spell out the science for everybody.
So what the cliff notes on what everything Clean just said was "fuck you, stupid." Like that was pretty much how I'm registered.
Oh my
Just
gosh.
know that when you see that, like that annoyed you, but there is actually science behind it. So,
All right,
Well,
he didn't seem that.
I'm looking forward to seeing all these movies that you're saying are good, like the Odyssey and the Invite. So I'm going to try to do that this week. What are our final thoughts on this summer blockbuster versus indie discussion?
My final thought is the paradigm has shifted. We are entering a new phase of cinema, and I'm here for it. I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Because I always love, and now I'm there for all the summer blockbusters, but my favorite time historically was the fall, because that's when the films would come in.
The
Right.
important ones.
Yes, for me, like that's when everything slows down and we got performances and stories. Now things have changed a bit, like there is no, it used to be like January, that was the dead zone, right? But that's not the case anymore. There's a lot of films
Like
now.
Send Help opened in the dead zone.
Yes. And that was
Great dead zone movie. And Don't Worry, Don't Fuck Yourself, whatever it's called.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it was called. Don't do that. Don't fuck yourself in public was what it was called. And that movie was phenomenal. I think everything shifted, but like I just think that I'm good with it. Like I'm here for it. I'm of course going to be in the theater for Spider-Man, and I
Oh,
will
me too. I
absolutely be
cannot
there
wait.
for Doomsday when that opens. Even though I've never had a film that I'm so sick of hearing about and I haven't even seen a trailer for, like Avengers Doomsday. I'm tired of everybody talking about it. I'm tired of like, oh, here's what Doom looks. Here's his costume. I know what Doom looks like. I've seen him all my life. I don't care. Give me a trailer. Everybody's like, I've got the script. Let's talk about No, just give me a fucking trailer and that's it. I don't want to hear any more about Doomsday. And I just talked about Doomsday. So now I'm a guilty party too. I'm part of the problem.
So
But
you
you
speak
like
of
where this
trailers.
you like where this is going yeah, okay.
Yeah, I love where
Clean,
this is going.
final thoughts from Clean on the debate, I guess, that we're talking about?
Yeah, maybe. Let me just say this real quick. Final a thought on trailers. Speaking of which, we should consider doing like a trailer episode once in a while.
Reactions?
Reactions, because
Oh,
like
okay.
I would love to talk about that Digger trailer, the new Digger trailer.
Oh,
And
you know
I
what?
Play Rocky.
Oh
I
my
really like that I Play Rocky
I
trailer.
Play
God.
Rocky looks awesome. I haven't
Yeah, the
watched
Rocky.
I haven't
What's
watched
that?
the Digger trailer yet.
Oh, you haven't seen? I saw it I saw it when I saw the Odyssey.
Oh wait,
Um,
was it okay? I saw
So
one.
there's only one trailer that actually shows the movie. Up until this, it's been
Tom
little
Cruise, right?
Tom
Like,
Cruise, but
yeah,
there's
yeah.
a full actual trailer now.
No, but I'm saying I saw one trailer I don't know what film it was. It was showing Top Gun, Risky Business.
Yes, that was the Tom Cruise one,
Okay, all right.
which was great. I actually loved that. I thought it was really
Yeah.
cool. There's a real trailer that shows all the scenes from the movie.
Okay.
So go on after this. Go on YouTube and look for the Digger trailer, because it looks like this generation's Doctor Strangelove.
All right. I'm here for that too.
Yes.
You know?
So anyway, final thoughts on this concept. Yeah, I do. I agree with Joe that I think there's been a kind of paradigm shift here. And after so many years of mainstream, big budget bullshit and disappointment, like there are people like us who we still always paid attention to the indie films and the smaller ones and the foreign films, and we'd still watch the big ones anyway. But I think there's a lot of people that are realizing like, oh my God, what have I been doing wasting all this time with this bullshit? Like there's so many good movies that are more intimate and at smaller budgets that just like I get so much more out of. And this is also why I think like the horror genre is becoming so much more mainstream. The horror genre has always been such a great, like it's thrived on indie, right? Like so many indie filmmakers come out of horror.
Yeah, I mean, if you think back, I mean, even going before this era, It Follows, Lights Out, right? Those things Don't Breathe. They were all very low budget. They did incredibly well with the fans, with the critics. And, comedy and horror are difficult genres to pull off. But when you do, you don't require $250 million
Right.
to make those
And
films.
it's created so many awesome directors and filmmakers that we know, like Ari Aster now, right? Amanda, your favorite Spider-Man movies were directed by who?
Sam Raimi.
Sam Raimi. Where did he come from? Horror
Yeah.
movies,
Yeah.
independent horror movies,
Yeah.
right?
By the way, Amanda, before we close out, I know you're excited that the Nightmare on Elm Street series is being rebooted. Um,
Yes.
Now, there is a movement online, and I agree with this movement. Put Robert England back in the costume again.
Oh,
Because
yeah, I mean, 100%. As you know, you see it's the banner on my Facebook page. One of the greatest moments of my life was
Mhm.
meeting Robert Englund, getting a photo with him, and I told him, grip me up with the claw so he has me by the neck." And in that moment, I was like, it was like one of the happiest moments of my life. I am a huge Nightmare on Elm Street, like, over the top fan, right? Like, I have a bunch of collectibles. I've seen all of the movies a billion times. I've watched the 4-hour documentary Never Sleep Again like 100 times. I'm obsessed with Fred Krueger. I would absolutely, yeah. I can't see anybody else doing it as well as he does. We saw it in that horrible remake that was just not good at all.
it wasn't. I love Jackie Earl Haley, but
No.
no, he was not.
Didn't bring the right energy, so of course I'm excited. My final thoughts, though, as our final thought. My final thoughts. I agree with both of you guys, though. I love that the indie movies are having their moment. That was always a big complaint of mine as a movie buff. Is why do these, sometimes more mainstream but not very well done movies like get the accolades when these like really good quality films are getting looked over. So I love that direction. I love that horror is becoming a legitimate category, award, worthy category. I think that's great. And yeah, I'm excited to see where everything. And the other movie that I'm on the final note, you guys are probably going to make fun of me for this, but the other movie that I'm so excited for is Practical Magic 2,
Oh, now I hate you.
because
No, it's not
Halloween
even
is
making
my
fun of you.
favorite Halloween is my favorite holiday. In fact, August 1st is like when I will decorate for Halloween. I
All right.
turn my whole house into Halloween.
August.
Yeah. It's Summerween. I mean, we're already in
Dude,
Summerween. I already
okay.
have some.
In her defense, I have seen people. July starts spooky season to people. They
Yeah. I let
Everything
myself
was
have
earlier.
July
That's like
as
Christmas
summer.
decorations in September.
Some people are into it. No, I have Halloween decorations that do stay up because I love skulls and things, so I keep a lot of skeleton stuff up all year. But no, I'm really excited for Practical Magic. I love the original movie. I think it's a good movie, so I have high hopes for this new one. And Nicole
I have
Kidman
no
is my
history with
favorite
that
actress.
one, so I can't say anything about it because I never saw it. So
I
I don't
saw the
know.
Okay,
first
your
one.
homework is to watch Practical Magic.
Oh, now
Who
you
stars
did
in
it
that?
clean. Now we got to watch it. I've seen it
You're gonna
before.
like it. You're gonna like it. It's
I
not.
won't like it.
Who's
I
in
don't
it?
like chick flicks. I don't feel like it's too much of a chick flick.
It's
It is, but it isn't.
Sandra
Like,
Bullock and Nicole
Nicole
Kidman.
Kidman, my favorite actress,
Okay.
but
Well,
it's
I
it's
like both of them, so
it's
It's
good.
clean.
It's good. So,
He
well, guys,
judges
I think this
movies
was
if he wants to bone the characters.
yeah,
That's
right.
how.
But no, I
no,
think
Indy
this was a great episode,
Navarrete.
though.
It doesn't
I
matter.
know.
She's just brilliant.
All
Oh my
right,
gosh, but a
fair enough.
good first episode of like our this format.
The
This whatever.
reboot. It's like
The
we're
reboot.
the reboot of cinema in streaming form now. This is
Yeah,
the
and
reboot.
I'm excited. So, guys, I think this is the ploy now. Please like, please subscribe, drop some comments. We would love to get back to you and talk to you, and happy
Yeah,
cinema watching, I
this
guess.
is a this is a big, very like this pretty much was the first half of the year 2026,
Yeah.
like catch up. So there's a lot of stuff we spoke general about. Obviously, Odyssey just opened, so could speak more specifically about some of these. But we'll do episodes after this that are more specific, talking
Yeah,
about one or two movies, one or two streaming shows,
And we
and
will eventually go live as we
yeah.
used to
yes,
do.
we will go live. But drop some comments if there's something you want us to talk about next. We would love to get your feedback because this can be kind of whatever we want it to be and what you want it to be.
Unless you're going to say something mean. I'm very
Yeah,
sensitive.
don't be don't be mean. We're
And
like we're all like, I will say for us, we're not, if there's another movement out there, and this happened with the Odyssey of oh, the people saying it's good are only saying it's good because they're being paid to say it's good. And it's not really good. It's just they're being paid to say that. And for some reason, this is like a
Yeah.
thing. We're no one's paying us anything, so we can
But
be
if you do want to pay us, we will say
wait,
whatever
we
the
love
fuck
hey
we
look,
want us to say. Yeah.
we love money, but
Yeah, I would
but for
love to
now
be
this
paid.
is
If
unbiased.
you're Curry Barker and you want to pay us to talk more about your movie because nobody
Yeah.
else is talking about it
Yeah.
anymore,
Unbiased.
know.
But thank you for the great discussion, and I
Yes.
guess we'll see you in the next one.
We will. And I'm going to leave everybody with my friends from Bellevue State. This is their latest video, Tectonic. It's not brand new now, but when it dropped, we had stopped doing the previous stream, but now we're here. I'm going to leave you with that. It's going to be like an outro, It's going to be cool. And we will see you next time. And Amanda is going to steer the ship from now on because I like the way this went. All right,
She's the
everybody.
Odysseus of our ship.
Yes, you are the Odysseus now. All right, we will see you next time.